And I want to here introduce my husband Gen, who is my teacher of Japanese traditional medicine. I've learned all this medicine. It's very ancient medicine from Japan, and it really works. And it doesn't cost you any money, except you pay us, yeah, for treatment. But actually, you don't have to buy pills and supplements. And no, it's just food and simple method that we may be sharing a little bit. How much time do I have? Do I speak too long? What time is it now? I want to watch time. I studied 2:15.
5 minutes. 3.
Okay, so you have 3:15. Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Okay, yeah. I didn't speak too long. Yeah, that's good.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, just
Hello?
3:15.
Yeah.
So Gen Morita.
I know you are very concerned about the radiation effect on health. But first, we have to know our body, our system, how it works. And in Oriental medicine, we think we have 4 basic fundamental internal organs which controls all other functions. Okay? And I want you to remember this, because I don't think you have ever heard this. First,
Okay.
right here, yes, some may recognize this as the 4th chakra. We have thymus. Thymus gland is one of the most essential, important organs. Have you ever heard of thymus gland? Do you know what it does?
The immune system.
Very
Yes.
good.
Yay!
So, when we check our client, this is the first organ we check because it indicates the level of your health, in other words, your life force, how much your healing power you have. So, very important. If you have high thymus function, you don't have any worry. Okay, that means you have a full power to control your body. You may have some, cold or flu or whatever, but that means you can heal yourself. You have a full healing power. And secondly, what is this? Largest internal organ you have? Liver. And what liver does? Filter. No. Yes, that's kidneys. Liver is like a processing plant of your nutrition. Whatever you take, you eat, the nutrition doesn't go into your bloodstream directly. We can't use as they are. It has to be processed so that we can use in the form into whatever amino acid or proteins and optimum form. So it's a processing plant. Yes, it has a cleansing, detoxing, but only for urine. It creates urea. Okay. When we talk about toxic substance, I think you will immediately think pesticides, all those ingredients, toxic man-made chemicals in the foods, right? Liver can't process those. Liver doesn't process that kind of human-made chemicals or toxic compound chemicals. Then, which organ? Okay. Okay. Take your left hand and touch the end of the elbow, just side.
Left side.
And with the thumb, push. Yeah. So that's where your elbow touches. of course, it's varies with individual.
Some people have longer arms, yeah?
Or shoulder. Oh.
Yeah. So here.
How do you feel?
Like I eat too much sugar.
This is being considered as a mystic organ, because we didn't know what it's for. So when the surgeon do a surgery, they usually find this as inflamed and they take it out for service. This is spleen. And in Eastern medicine, spleen has a very important role, because this toxifies what we call those toxins, detoxification. And it controls our hormone system. It controls our thyroid and reproductive system. And it controls our lymph flow. So already you understand how important it is. Okay? And the trouble is, spleen is very weak to chemicals and sugar. So that's why we emphasize that whatever you eat is very essential whenever the radiation is involved. And lastly, there's a last lid. We have 12 lids. This is 12th lid, which ends in between somehow, because we are still in the evolution process. This is kidneys, because we have two. Okay, and if you touch it, you may feel uncomfortable, or maybe you feel pain, because most of the people, kidneys have inflammation problem. Kidney is a filter of your bloodstream. It's very important. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say is, what you eat creates you, of course. So it depends what you eat. Means a lot. And I think Yumi discussed a little bit about the green. Why are all the plants green? Chlorophyll. And why all the plants produce chlorophyll? Why? What's the main purpose?
Make blood.
What?
Make blood.
Make blood. Okay. Yeah. Eventually by oxygen.
Well, I tell you, the sun is, of course, a very beneficial energy, but not always. Because if you expose yourself in the sun, what will happen?
Sunburn.
Skin
Skin
get
cancer.
burned, and if you keep exposing, you get cancer, right? Now, why not the plants? Plants is the same DNA as we do, because they produce chlorophyll to protect themselves. They keep detoxifying the radiation, lethal radiation. Okay? Ultraviolet, right? And X-rays on the radiation. It's in the sun, but fortunately we have a barrier surrounding the earth, so they reduce the amount, but still it reaches to the surface of the earth. But animals, like we can walk, we can hide ourselves in the cave or the shade of trees, but not the plants and trees. That's why they produce this chlorophyll. And that's the main reason why we try to tell you, eat greens. Lions, they eat meat, but what they eat first is they eat the guts of the horses or whatever. They are herbivorous, herbivorous. Yeah, because in the guts there's a lot of chlorophyll. So they take this in lions, and they use the chlorophyll and detoxify. So that's the main reason why the vegetarian is so important. Okay? And here it is. Okay?
Need to be organic though.
So now we have to do some promotion of this island natural. So this kind of stuff, perfect raw or any kind of green gluten
I like
work.
vibrant green. I like this one. This is my favorite. And this one also. Yeah, she has a question. Yes?
Yes.
Question. Is there a preferred way to get the most out of your greens? I'm assuming that having something fresh is the best way to do it.
Yes.
But pulverizing it or juicing it or just throwing it whole into a smoothie, I feel like having something straight out of the ground would be the best way to intake it as opposed to something that's been processed.
The best I think is take it and eat it. Yeah, that's best. But not everybody can do that. So next best is like juicing, and the next maybe the smoothie. Yeah, but if you are healthy, now any of those works for you. And yeah, but if you're really very ill, I always recommend juicing for the very ill patient. But once you're healthy and your digestive system is okay, smoothie can take more nutrition. Yeah. So each person is different. So that answer your question? Yes. Any question? I wanted to add because I wanted to answer. He requested me to speak more on radiation things. I want to touch on a little bit about radiation, where it accumulates in organs. Like Helen, most of the people in the video, they are my friend. I've been working with them for like 20 years now. Like Helen Caldicott, she is a pediatrician from Australia. And she found with radiation so many cancer of child cancer. So she became against nuclear power plants. Anyway, so she and I traveled around the world trying to stop nuclear power plants. So she, Annie Gunderson, and Paul Gunter, everybody I knew actually. Anyway, she touched on where it goes. The iodine has 8 days half-life. When the half-life is shorter, you think it's good, yeah? Half-life, 8 days, means 10 times of half-life, it almost become nothing. So iodine, 130, becomes 0 after 80 days. Like 3 months later, it almost becomes 0. Is that good news? Some people say it's good news, but actually, when the half-life is short, it emits more power. More energy. So those kids in Fukushima exposed, to iodine 130, and it goes to thyroid. Thyroid is hungry for iodine, and they don't recognize between radioactive iodine and the natural iodine. So important thing is to keep your thyroid always full of natural iodine. Natural iodine, where do you get that from? Like kelp powder? Island Natural has one, try to get non-radioactive kelp, okay? I hope. Anyway, but there's a natural iodine pill, you can also buy that. Yes?
How do you get non-radioactive kelp?
It's very hard nowadays, yeah. I don't buy from Japan. And it's very hard question to answer actually. Maybe Atlantic, we don't really know. Some part of eastern part of Japan still clean, no radiation there. The Hokkaido, the other side, not this side. That's east, so west side.
Maybe some of you have answer? No?
Yeah?
There is a person that lives on the Atlantic coast,
Mm-hmm.
and he collects all of his own seaweed.
Okay.
And it is excellent. I've been using it ever since that event.
Is that enough to feed the humanity?
Well,
Or Kona people, yes.
We have some here, right here today.
Yeah.
To feed the people,
Mm-hmm. I see.
So yes, I'd be happy to share that information.
Okay, great. So make sure you eat like more seaweed than before, like nori or hijiki, wakame, kelp,
Or local Hawaiian?
lim.
Lim.
How radioactive, I don't know. That's another thing we have to ask our government officials, local government, legislation. We need to pass legislation to monitor those seafood and sea lives, how radioactive it is. We need to do that. Yes?
Unfortunately, they are using various types of monitoring equipment that does not do the alpha, beta, and the gamma.
Yeah, that's more expensive.
One
Yeah,
particular type. So it's not giving you the full information.
I see. But still, even just gamma ray, even just cesium, that's very important information. We should, ask for that. Yes, the instrument.
Yes, the algae that's grown in some lakes,
Yeah.
is that a good replacement for the
Maybe.
kelp?
Yes, probably. Yeah, if it's not radioactive. United States has lots of nuclear facilities, and they always use water, and they always leak, and they don't tell you about it. So it's, even if it's a fresh water and it seems to be clean, you don't know. So that's another thing.
It would also matter because if the lakes don't have iodine in it, then the algae wouldn't have a large amount of
Iodine, yeah, that's it. I see. So I am eating more like today's lunch was norimaki, seaweed nori. You know norimaki? Nori raw. I use that a lot for kids, so that they eat some kind of seaweed every day. My child has been complaining. My snack was always kombu, kelp, as a child. That's what I gave to my daughter and my son as a snack instead of candies. That's how they grow, and she complains, I'm miserable, I didn't eat all the good candies like these kids eat. But she's healthy. So iodine, another thing, let me finish okay, let me finish. So iodine goes to here, cesium, where do they go? Cesium go to muscles, yeah? But which muscle is more damaging? Heart muscles. Heart muscle will not be replaced. Only 1% of heart muscle will be reproduced. A year, 1%. 99% stay the same, okay? This muscle, yes. So they go to muscles, and the damage will happen in the heart. So in Japan, there's more and more heart attacks. We are not, obesity is not the problem in Japan. We are fit people. Japanese diet is very healthy, but they just die from heart attack now. And I suspect it's cesium 137. Okay, strontium 90, where did they go? The half-life 29, it goes to bones, okay? Bones. When they go to the bones, all kinds of problems, like leukemia, and they have bone cancers, and it's very hard to get rid of. And plutonium, where do they go? They go to the lung cancer. It's mostly attributed to plutonium 239. So that has half-life of 24,000 years. So that one is hard to get rid of. So plutonium is the worst one, I think. And strontium is another. I don't like that. I don't like cesium. But anyway, and it all goes to all those organs. And you want to study the study of Yuri Bandajewski, which didn't show up on this video. That's another person. Yuri Bandajewski. Can you spell it? I cannot spell it. Y-U-R-I-C. He is Gomery University of Ukraine, and he was kaibori. How do you say kaibori? He's a doctor of medicine, medical doctor, but only treats the dead bodies. What do they call that?
Forensic pathology.
Okay, that one. I don't know the term, but he does that. And after the Chernobyl, he's been collecting organs and what nuclear isotopes were in the bodies. Okay, and he found out his data was shocking because very little nuclear, like cesium in the heart, was fatal for the people. That's what Yuri Bandajewski studied. And his thesis were banned, of course. And he had to spend 9 years in jail, or 7 years in jail. He was arrested for releasing that information. He was president of the university, medical university of Ukraine, or Ukraine or Belarus. And he's now out of jail thanks to Amnesty International. I worked on that campaign too. So he was in Japan speaking about it. Anyway, Yuri Bandajewski is another person. You want to study how the radiation affects each organ. It goes into the organs. And we need to eat more and more greens.
Yeah, right after the Chernobyl, accidents. Austrian government made a survey. They found out 80% of radiation comes through mouth, not from the environment. 20% the environment.
Food.
Yeah, food, that means food. So if you are selected what you eat, that you can, protect it pretty much. So it's very
And this
important.
place is a good place to buy product. Lots of organic and lots of good stuff. I shop here a lot. So,
And also, medicine, food is your medicine, okay? And this, nothing is scarier than this, because this is God creation. It's full of energy. It is holistic energy. It's perfect. It's miraculously balanced. If you try to take out something out of those ingredients, somehow it loses living energy. Yeah. It still works, but I recommend you eat as a whole, as living food. That's why we recommend the raw food.
So we have to go now.
Yeah. Well, any questions?
Any question? We have question session after Ben's speech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe just one.
Do they have farms for seaweed? Like, do they make the maki seaweed you're talking about? Do they farm it? Or like,
Some places, like nori is all farmed.
yeah, not in the ocean, but just,
Yeah.
right?
This spirulina is farmed,
Yeah,
all of it. So I think in Hawaii that this is good.
yeah.
And they use deep sea water to grow those, deep sea. Deep sea, they come from like a very deep sea and come out from here, right? And that water is not toxic. It's very clean. So I think Spirulina company has very, bright future, for hopefully.
What about the nori for sushi though?
Nori for sushi, it's a hard question. I used to use all Japanese and I'm always local, buy local, eat local. And now I have to change my thinking, I have to buy maybe Korean or Chinese or, which is hard. I struggle still. Yeah, I'm still struggling. I don't know the answer.
Well, it's hard for us when we see these products and we really don't know where they come from.
Yeah. Well, in Costco, all you could buy is from Korea now.
Yeah, they have that.
Yeah, so I am buying that one for now. But we don't know. We don't know what's best.
Yeah.
We're just trying. We are, somebody said we are all an experiment. This is human experiment. How are we going to survive on this more radioactive environment? That's an experiment, really. But I really want to share the information so that we all survive together. That's my purpose. I want, of course, the kids is my priority. I want all of us to survive in health, in good health. Okay, so we stay in touch and we survive together. Okay? Yes, one question.
I have a question. I don't really rely on the government to keep me healthy. So is there any kind of information out there about some sort of tool that we could use to test the fish, the water, the soil, and food on our own? Do you know of anything like that?
Well, in Japan, people are paying money buy those expensive machines, just a matter of money. Raise fund to have those machines and to test it ourselves. You would have to hire some stuff, to do the testing. So that's what Japanese people are doing, apart from government. Government does their own testing, but people do their own testing. Yeah, Greenpeace International, they've been monitoring the food in Japan. Greenpeace Japan is doing an amazing job. They're monitoring all the food, especially the fish, and they disclose so many good information, so much good information in Japan for people. So all we could do is, if you have interest, you can talk to your friends and have that kind of group, maybe create non-profit to buy those machines and to monitor. Yeah, we should. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Can I ask you, based on the spirulina question, you were saying that they're taking deep ocean water
Yeah.
to create that. Is I read that the radiation density is more intense deeper in the water than higher in the water. Is that?
It goes in the bottom, yes, but that deep sea goes under seabed. Deep water come from Arctic to go down the bottom and come out, something like that. So it's very clean. They are testing. So I have people working there, and if when it's radioactive, I'm sure I hear that. So far so good. But in fifth year, 2016, I will be really carefully monitoring the food. 5 years, radiation will be spreading all over Pacific. So 2016 is the year you need to be really more and more careful about what to eat. So I hope you still stay in touch with me by then, and I'm still alive, I hope. Okay. And there's more question after Ben speak. Do you have to, unless you have to go now?
Is the radiation still pumping into the ocean?
Yes.
It's still in.
They're trying to prevent, but 300 tons a day, and that's a lot of those containers to make. And Japan will be filled with those containers soon. Then they have to do, get rid of the water somehow. Yes.
Are the people protesting over there at all? Or?
Yes, we are.
Because we don't ever hear anything.
Every Friday, if you go to in front of Japanese government office, tons of people protesting. Yeah.
Is it doing any good?
Maybe not. We are protesting, yes. And we're doing lawsuits, all kind of things we're doing. But people of Fukushima are more quiet. They are more controlled, more quiet. And they don't like to hear negative news. Kind of, people in Fukushima are more quiet. It's very sad situation. Yes?
Is uranium one of the particulates that's coming out of Fukushima?
Some people said yes.
Because on the Big Island, there's been an issue
of degraded uranium?
The military has
yes.
munitions,
yes.
and it's cheaper to shoot the munitions off than to
yes.
dispose of it properly.
Yes.
So there's been noticeable amounts of depleted uranium blowing around.
It's found in the urine of some people nearby Pohakloa area.
Even
yes.
down in Ocean View, there was a nuclear watchdog over here, and she was testing levels just in the air when she was here by chance, and she picked up high levels.
I see.
And so I'm wondering, that's one thing to differentiate
yes.
between the Fukushima and.
It should be DU is uranium-238, and this one coming out of Fukushima should be different. I mean, not so high in uranium unless when unit number 4 collapses, we may have one uranium. Yeah, we may. Now we should be picking up more like cesium, strontium, iodine. Yeah, so it's bad. All of them really not good either. None of them is good, unfortunately. So one good news: we all survived. You're pretty healthy. We're still living, and you're not going to be dying tomorrow. So we're going to be surviving together. We are pretty strong. We've done 2,000 testing out here in the Pacific. I mean, nuclear testing. And we all survived that. So
Hawaii has the lowest mortality rate.
Yeah, in the United States. Yeah, Hawaii is one of the healthiest states in the United States.
Yeah, next to California.
In spite of all the nuclear testing in Pacific. So you guys are pretty strong, like me too. I'm a survivor. So, good news. Yes?
Somebody from the live stream asked about tritium. Is that something?
Tritium.
Tritium.
Tritium, yes.
Is that something to be concerned about?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because the experts they're saying are downplaying that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it should be concerned, yeah. It goes to anywhere, so tritium is a hydrogen.
Oh, yeah, those are what we call radioactive materials, and the government refused to monitor those. So we have to push the government to monitor all those, those particles. But it's not easy. It takes time and it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have to do it somehow. Yeah.
I want Ben to call Ben. Ben, come over here. Because after Ben speaking, we have more question and answer session. I'd like to start, passing this mic to Ben, because he has more positive news, what we could do about those situations. So thank you very much, Ben, for allowing us to speak. And I have more and more information, but thank you. Thank you. This is good. Thank you.
Thank you.